Hello, friends. Welcome back. This is video 4, picking up right around the 10-hour mark. I realized that I've been stopping it just before the hour mark, and I'm naming my videos based on what hours are played. So I have like 21 free minutes before I'm technically starting hour 10, but we're going to get into hour 10 today of the game. I'm still in basically the regular territory. We just started heading west to the Forbidden West, but I was playing some side quests and getting caught up on all that, so or caught up with all that. Without further ado, it's good to be back. Thank you for watching, and let's see if I remember where I put my controller. Here we go. Okay. Oh yeah, we trampled the Tallneck. That was fun.
The blight is worse here. If I don't find a GAIA backup, it'll be like this everywhere.
Just looking at the level of detail here. Oh my gosh. Aloy, don't look now, but the blight is growing out of your
taking
head.
Over, spreading its sickness.
Blighted meat? Why would that be an inventory thing that I would want? Really need a face mask here. Plow. Ooh. Oblivious to interruption.
That's strange. Those machines don't seem hostile.
Oh. You're a big bluey. Do its thing. Good to know that the Utaru tribe worship it. Am I going back and forth here? I am focused. Let's see. Yep, show me everything. Oh, it took a while. Okay, that's good to know. Alright. If I were... Okay, north of Barren Light. I want to be methodical about this, about how I explore the map. I also want to make sure I get into as many cauldrons as I can, because those will let me take over machines once I complete them. Plainsong is there. I can really meet the Utarus. Guess I need to do some collecting of fast travel bags if I'd like to travel to a place instead of a campfire, like a city. Yeah, but what place doesn't have a campfire anyway? None that I would like to be visiting, except now.
This'll make a good dye.
Looks like... Oh, I need the way through the thing. Okay, cool. So if I get to here... Really need a face mask. Can't be breathing in this blight. There's another tall neck. Look at how far away that is that I can see it. That's really neat. And they said draw distance was smaller. That is going to end up being... No, it wouldn't be. The one that I just saw? Might be the one that I just saw. There's not another one up there. Well, anyway. That's pretty neat. Okay.
They caught on.
You! Hey! You're under attack!
Say it while I'm in combat. Oh, by that guy.
Help them out! You can fit.
Hello, welcome. I've got myself a bit of a combat situation I was not planning for, but it's fine. That's why they call me the savior of radio. I have attack machines that would do me harm.
I see you now!
Somebody's got like arrows and stuff. The night is dark. It is full of terrors as well.
Lost her for one moment.
Alright, where's that person? we do. Only if I see you. Ah.
Oh, relief.
Where'd she be at? Oh, there it is. Okay. So I am in search of a bandit camp. Some bad guys came and they broke this treaty we were going to make. Not really a treaty, but we were going to treat with a group of people, and people from within their own tribe ruined it, killed everybody there, except for me and my friend Varl. And now I want answers and revenge. Also, they were supplied with weapons by my old rival, a guy named Sylens, and he left taking the big bad from the first game with him, and he's gonna unleash hell on the world, which has already happened, and it's a problem. Because I used to like that guy.
I'll have use for these soon enough.
Aloy, is that a commentary on my game skills? Like, oh, medicinal berry. I'm gonna really need these soon. This ridgewood is great for arrow making. Got a ton of stuff. Sky.
Steady my breath.
The eye. They don't like the frost, is what I'm learning about these guys.
Think about what's next.
On my way somewhere, might as well grab all the medicinal berries I can find. They really help.
If I find where these machines are made, I might know how to override them.
I was quick enough with that. Wild beans from a bean stem.
is clearly going to get out here.
Heh. It's just an open world commentary. This is really beautiful. Deep water kindle weed oil.
Dry this green shine off carefully.
Alright, save my game. You know, I'm gonna manually save as well, just in case. Oh, what is the... I'm just going to a bandit camp. So the main quest that's displayed, I'm not actually following it because I'm going to a side event thing. Gonna raid a bandit camp with the people that attacked me.
It's always good to have extra.
Yeah. Ooh. Shoot nearby environmental traps to unleash. What is this? Unidentified signal. That usually means a cauldron. A cauldron is an underground factory where the machines that are roaming the world up around the game actually come from. And that was revealed in the first game. But going into those, I need to actually hide. What? These are like, well, this is the Monty Python and the Holy Grail entourage that's banging the coconut as they go.
We're built for leaving.
Oh, they see me. Up. Leap Lasher, these are called. Thanks, Drew, and good morning to you. Is it 50 followers for the affiliate thing, Twitch affiliate? I've actually given up all hope on becoming a Twitch affiliate, not due to any kind of self-deprecating feelings, but just because it needs to be all this stuff within a certain, like, small amount of period, like, you need to have an average of comments on all of your recent streams. But, like, if you have a bad stream or you stream in the middle of the night, which I'm just streaming when I want to play the game, if you stream in the middle of the night, nobody shows, it, like, lowers your overall average comments per video. And I'm just like, that is, like, an unattainable goal. Sure, if you're, like, already affiliated with stuff, you can, like, tell 100 people to come watch you. And I'm not going to do that on MuggleCast, because this is just me playing a game that has nothing to do with Harry Potter. Maybe if I were to do the Hogwarts Legacy, I'd be like, hey, I'm streaming this. But not now, and it does not matter to me. I'm just having fun, and I'm thrilled that y'all are here. Thank you, Ash. Hello, happy Saturday. Is it Saturday? Sunday. Happy Sunday, like you said. And signal. I'm excited because we know what this means. This radio signal that we don't quite identify just yet is likely to be a cauldron. One of those underground machine factories. And I, yesterday, overrode a tall neck, which gave me a map of the area, but the cauldrons were not on that map, which is actually surprising. I don't know that they were in the first game, but I believe... Wait, where am I... Oh, you're kidding me. This whole time I'm crossing the land going to the mission. I thought I was going to the bandit camp. Oh boy. Okay, well anyway. I found a maybe cauldron, so I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, the cauldrons are like... Oh, is that... Unknown cauldron. Never mind, they are on the map. I just didn't look closely enough. Where are the other ones? It might be that that was not there before. Okay. So up at the top of my screen, where that is the cardinal direction north, there's stuff in the way. The flag is where I put my things, so that's the cauldron. And then the diamond is the main story mission that's currently highlighted. Wait, where is the... Did I just come from here? What is all of this? Storage unit.
Be careful not to let this stain my hands.
Cauldron says it's over there, but the signal was way that way. Maybe I'm just wrong with the signal? I don't think I am. But I'm just going to go to where the cauldron says it is. Getting some berries. I need a berry hunting, berry picking song.
Cauldron. If I can reach its core, I should get enough data to...
Cauldron Mu. Find the core. 8,000 points and 3 skill points.
Provide some new machines.
Bean stem. Wild beans. And it's just a thing in the wall. These lines on the wall, when I scan them, mean I can climb them, which really interests me. Because they've made this crack climbable, but not... That's really interesting, because I think it's just ceiling up there. I don't think it's actually a hole. But they still, nevertheless, let Aloy kind of hang on and grip, just like in real life. That you could possibly, you know, climb up. I guess they call it bouldering when it's a small wall. But bouldering might just be going up on your own without a string. But, sorry, I'm not a climber. Yeah, I think I'll be able to get this feature of the illuminations on the rock is one of the best upgrades to the first game. In the first game, you really could only climb on, at least to my memory, either straight surfaces that had been painted white to indicate that you could paint on them, and then hand-roped things that were very sort of obvious. And occasionally you'd get lucky being able to stand. Like if I jump on this rock and I didn't fall, it'd be like, oh yeah, great. But there was no system where it told you, like, yes, for sure, before you jump, you can get on this thing. So that was really neat. I think I'm going to get into the cauldron from above. Oh, I love the way she's going up, like, the really tall, steep incline. Can I ever climb over? Okay, great. So the front door was kind of down there, but I'm kind of over it. Because I think you never really could go in the, like, straight through the front door of the cauldrons. Sometimes there was like an elevator to the left of it, but I'm thinking this is the way anyway. Interesting. Okay.
Get a strong color out of this.
Aloy's always be looking for something to dye her clothing with. Okay. There's the tall neck that I overrode. Ooh, is that what I think it is? I was right. Unless I'm very much mistaken. Abundant medicinal bright omen. Maybe not. I thought they were neon lights, because all the cauldrons are lit blue and purple. Alright, we're gonna try and go in the front door. Because I can't find my way on up here. Ooh, that's a settlement. Yeah, this is fine. I'm on the other side of the mountain than where I was, but this is fine. Alright. Okay, good times. So the campfires in that cavern and the main cauldron.
Cauldrons could teach me how to override these machines. Where would they be?
That's a random thing to say in front of a cauldron. I'm in the grass, you can't see me. Oh shit, there's more than one in very close distance. I'm gonna throw a rock. If this is as easy as...
This open?
You know what? Don't listen to me. Maybe you can just get in through the front door. I'm giving everybody on this stream permission never to listen to me. It's funny because in the first game she leaves through the front door. You always go in like a side way, but then there's a big elevator. Once you beat the cauldron, you just kind of elevate up and get out the front. But you always have to go in a different way. This time I just walked straight up and was like, let me in. Love that. Maybe it's still the same over there.
These ledges look like they'll hold up.
Yeah, they look like they're for me. Give me a cauldron. Give me a cauldron. Supposed to be level 18, and I'm level 11. That usually means it's like a good challenge. Also, thanks, Ash. Appreciate it. Or Lady Ash. Wait. Oh, that's a machine. I just come that way. I just came that way. Sheesh. Alright, bundle of wires. Here we go. You're about to enter a cauldron and won't be able to exit until you complete it. Make sure you're prepared. Yeah.
Down it is. Cable seems sturdy enough. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
This is so cool.
Here we go again!
This feels a bit like Portal.
That was fun. Now I need to find my way to the core. shield. I'll have to find a different path.
Okay. I got zapped and actually fell over. See if I can get that on a different angle. Whoops. Yikes. Okay. What I like about some of the games that I've played is the bleed over between them. It's like these huge environments, all the automated machinery beneath you. There's just endless chasm down into the earth. It reminds me a lot of Portal. But then you get these pyramids, and that reminds me of Control, especially when there's like an obsidian kind of like black mineral rock deposit type thing in the shape of a pyramid.
This cloud should hide me for a while.
That is awesome. And definitely very controlled. Alright, I'm in Cauldron Mu. Love it. Don't want to get seen there. What I can appreciate these sort of this is my first cauldron in this game. Is that in the first game, Aloy got the ability to override some machines, control the network, get in. This is the same world. So her access code, this little staff that she uses that gets her in here, isn't invalid because the same systems that built these caves are the same systems that built the factories in the first game. So it's like there was no barrier. I didn't need to get like a more up-to-date staff or something. I'm just allowed. The machines are harder. The machines are different and harder, but the overall you need access to this still works. Also, as an explanation for Aloy in general, we learned in the first game that she is a clone of the woman that saved the world, or saved human life would be more accurate. The world ended. And so her likeness, her voice, anything that was technology on Earth 1,000 years ago that's voice activated and coded for Dr. Elizabet Sobek, Aloy can open because she sounds the same. It's the same woman. And oddly fingerprints too, which that shouldn't be a thing, but it is. So yeah, Aloy has a few like legs up in terms of getting to the bottom of this mystery, and is the only character that can save this world. But it's still an ever-increasing difficulty. Yeah, I agree, actually.
Damn, more machines.
I really, really like the cool blue-purple light of these cauldrons. And it's kind of like going...
I gotta find a way to the other side.
Kind of like going back into the kitchen of a restaurant. You know, it's like this is where the food is made. So the restaurant experience, you're out dining. You know, there's probably music playing,
time to fight.
sometimes live. But you never see where the cake is made. This is where the cake is made. Energy glass. Nice, Drew. Oh, you know what? To this point, I have the Mass Effect trilogy downloaded on PS5. I haven't played it yet. I was really intending to.
Catch a ride on those to get across.
Hooked on
If I don't get shot
Cyber
by those machines.
Oh, sweet. regarding the whole going into the kitchen and seeing where the cake is made thing, these machines, like, this is the machine factory, so the whole reason there's any machines at all on the outside world is because they're being produced in here by artificial intelligences that are creating the machines, assessing when the world needs more machines, because the machines are actually making the world a habitable place, kind of like what bees and trees do for us now. But in this world, the world ended, like I said, and so a number of the machines are actually terraforming, or they were terraforming, making the world habitable after another ice age, and regulating overall global natural processes. Like, I think of it like trimming roses, pruning rose bushes. Oh, I can do that, of course. That's what she was talking about. And so this is where the machines all come from. So yeah, on the outside it's like this stark contrast, but we have these machines to thank for the fact that there's anything outside besides ice. So that's like another layer of real cool origin stuff.
Let's get past this shield.
I can't account for why I have never played Mass Effect since, you know, it's been around for 10 or more years. But wasn't it like, I think it was an Xbox or a PC thing. Anything that was supposed to be the new PC game, I couldn't play because my computers, while I'm proud of their accomplishments and capabilities, were never good enough to play any computer game. So if it was a game that was either Xbox exclusive first, and there were a few of those, or like a fake PC game, everybody who had a PC was talking about it, I ignored it. Just straight up. So Mass Effect, for some reason, speaks to me as like, oh yeah, that was a PC game.
Things being moved to the
That
back
said,
of this
now,
corridor.
and the reason I bought it,
That
I'm
has to
totally
be
interested in
the core.
playing it. It does seem right up my alley, but I needed more time to come around to it, and also it needed to be on a system that I had. I never had any Xbox, and I've already explained about PC. The few PC games I have played, I mentioned Portal 2, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, which is awesome. Thrilled for the reboot of that that's coming out. But yeah, very few PC-specific games. And if there's a game that is on PC but is also on PlayStation, I'm gonna get it on a console. I'm gonna get it on PlayStation. Because it's guaranteed it will play.
I can grab this from my stash later.
Good to know. I should be able to. It's not letting me jump up. Jump at this juncture. Oh no.
I have to time it better.
Yeah, and like, it's not even the controller thing. Like, Knights of the Old Republic and Portal, for instance. Oh, Portal's perfect. Portal with just a regular mouse and it's excellent. It's even better than a regular controller if you just have a laser mouse for Portal. But I do know it's coming to Switch though. Portal is, but you can actually plug. I'm pretty sure the next gen controllers, and by next gen I mean previous gen, like PS4 or Xbox One or S or whatever it is. I feel like those are all compatible, especially Xbox because it's Microsoft, that you can just plug them into a computer and use them with any PC game can be used with, like video game-esque controllers. So like, it's not even that for me, but it's just hardware and functionality. But then on the other side of that, there are games that I would never play on a console, like Roller Coaster Tycoon. If they ever made that, there might have been like a PlayStation version of it at one time. Nope, I spent months of my life on that game. Did that whole thing where I timed it to get up here, but there's nothing up here. Oh, what is that? Maybe I have to glide. Maybe that's the whole thing. I'm gonna try gliding, everybody. I might fall, but it's the journey.
Here I come.
Yes, 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 do it, almost. Oh, well, that wasn't the worst.
Maybe I can use that arm to get across. I'm still in this fight.
I have not tried Aussie Lemonade Monster. I get these 0 sugar, 0 calorie monsters, become quite addicted to them, and I tell myself, oh, they're 0 calorie, they're not hurting me.
Jumping onto that arm should be
It's just like a straight Torian. But, when I go to Walmart next, I'm absolutely gonna get some Aussie lemonade. I don't even know what Aussie lemonade is. I wonder what that would be. When I was in Australia, they didn't really talk about lemonade being a thing. Nope, I can't jump. Oh,
So far, so good.
alright, she just straight up did it.
Did
Cool.
jump off at the right time.
Got it. I tried. There's a watermelon monster energy drink, which is really good, and a watermelon dew. Both of those are very good. friends. Show me past the shield.
Keep these on me.
Ooh. Don't have any tear blast arrows. They really, really, really worked very well during the first game. Their whole purpose was to remove armor and plating, armor plating from machines. I'ma jump on it. It doesn't know why. Whoops, I might fall. Hi. Oh shit. Ooh, I did not time that better. Oh heavens. Ah, shit. Where did I... Come on, guys. Well, freezing machines makes them brittle. To quick craft, open the weapon reel. Yeah. I'm just getting clobbered. I gotta use more effective means. I have shock traps. Really don't have any bombs. Haven't seen any bombs yet. Oftentimes you get those sorts of things from merchants, but the only merchants I've seen so far were at the outskirts of the Cauldron Kingdom, and I don't recall seeing bombs as an option. My next step will be to avoid this machine, because I don't really need to kill any of the machines in here. In fact, there's this thing down here. What happened if I blew it? Oh. Well, that wasn't the door's fault. I am slightly pissed that they took away my shield weaver armor. Made it so much easier. special armor that recharged on its own. It had basically an energy shield. And you get it throughout the course of the first game, if you know where to look. Just led to this area where you get some valuables. That's neat. Oh yeah, there's totally way up. Be a door, but it's not. These things. Oh, here we go.
Spotted. Could try getting to that arm below.
Wow. That's gonna take some time. Hey.
Jump.
If they crunch.
That was close.
Very nice. All this was just to get on top of that thing so I could go through the door.
I should be able to hitch a ride on those metal carriers from here.
Over this guy that I avoided, hopefully. does not see me. These guys are gonna carry me through. Oh.
I made it this far. Just have to hold on a little longer.
That's right, Aloy. In there is right.
I'm gonna have to get off this thing soon.
There's an arm jumping. Oh yeah.
Those arms can help me reach the core. I just have to get to them. Close to the core. Right. Made it. Go.
Just a hop, skip, and a jump. So I can't climb up this arm at all. I'm stuck at this level. I wonder if that means jumping into blue over here. Just that seems like nothing. Hard one.
Those metal carriers should get me to the core.
Metal carriers. There we go. Wow. How do I jump off before I... Oh,
I needed those machine overrides.
okay. What's this? Nope. Yeah.
I'll stash this away for later.
Yeah, you will.
Never seen machines stored like that. At least it's deactivated for now.
Okay. Yeah, all cores kind of look like this. Alright.
There's the core. Now I just need to access it. I'm not getting those overrides without a fight.
Let's make sure I have everything I need. Whoa! I got sucked into its mouth. Alright, wide maw, let's see. Amphibious machine that vacuums up resources. In combat, it turns its ability to a variety of dangerous attacks. Cool. The components of the wide maw. It is weak versus purge water damage, but I don't have any purge water arrow delivery systems. Strong versus fire, frost, shock, acid, and plasma. Great. So everything I have, it is strong against. The only thing that hurts it is purge water. Just gonna have to straight up damage this guy. That's why the Cauldron was like, hey, listen. Wow, that took fully 1/3 of my life away. I just did 7 whole damage. Actually hitting its mouth really worked. Not so bad. Fertilizer pot.
Oh, machine's got backup.
Oh, there's 2 of them?
Without ammo.
It doesn't help when I dodge the same direction they launch. Why? I'll be fine. This is fine. The good news is, though I can only carry 6 at once, the harder arrows that have higher damage, I seem to have a good amount of resources to produce that. Very low on health.
Not my chance.
I killed it. Fuck. Just needed to get out of the blast radius of that. Alright, 1 down. Hopefully just this 1 to go. Didn't use any elemental attacks at all. Hi, buddy. dodging and wooden arrows, you can take down any metal beast.
This should help me override machines out in the wild.
Make it a flying machine.
Looks like asbestos is the security grid.
Burrower. Scrounger. Grazer.
Some of the data's been corrupted. There's overrides my focus doesn't even recognize. These are machines I haven't seen before.
Well, I missed a purple. There was a purple pickup, and I should have gotten it. I should have realized to have gotten it before I took the elevator up and out.
I should be able to override this machine.
No, I can test it out right away. Oh wait, can I get back down? Let me go back down. Really?
Should be able to override scroungers now. Now everyone's on the same side. At least for a while.
Sound show.
Alright, next idea.
Okay, just gotta pick up all these parts that are all over the ground, which will help me in my potion making and armoring. Leaping lizards. They're never not going to remind me of the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Knights traveling with Hunter. Or Robin Hood Men in Tights, the Knights of Rottingham. Da 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 da. So purposeful, yet goofy.
My pack's full. I can get it from my stash later.
Oh, my pack's full. Yeah. after defeating that cauldron, let's see. It's a cauldron. It's a campfire. Oh, I can finally get to that bandit camp. To the bandit camp, which are responsible for the broken truce. Rebel camp north of Barren Light. Rebel camp eastern Light. Alright. Campfire. Ooh. Unknown with unknown workbench. Great. What are we doing? Yeah. That. Nope. Well. Can I travel? Fast travel. Oh, I didn't even notice, Ash. The map. But yeah. I think it was really just that Tallneck did most of it. Which is real great. First. Alright, well, at risk of my mount trying to commit suicide, I'm going to call Bluey over. Yesterday we had some issues, some behavioral issues with Bluey. He was running right into the path of the giant beast, which was not great. But we're working through it. We have some issues we're working through. I'm taking him away from this place. This campfire, waiting for it to load. Sky Drifter, unknown shelter, rebel camp. Actually gonna go that way. Explosions in the distance, always a good thing. I did not expect it to be this colorful from the map. There's a map for this region. Is this... no? Oh, you know what the problem is? It was just foggy. That's all. Okay, I'm going to this rebel camp. And I'm gonna Make them say their prayers. Okay, what's this? Is it a workbench? What is this? Open. Oh, it's my stash. Any campfire, I think, has my stash. Okay, hello, bird with scanning technology.
I'll keep some extra on hand.
These people are 40 steps away. Yeah, we're all on our own journey. Oh shit. Alright. I'm gonna suggest maybe I don't take Bluey this far. Alright. Don't go walking under any tall necks, Bluey. Choose life.
It looks like the rebels have a camp in addition to those machine pens. I should see what they're up to. They've got riders patrolling the area. Gotta be careful.
Oh. Now I know that there's not any. Normally I'd be like, I have to see if I can grab on a crag.
I've been spotted.
Really? That was fast.
Did you see that? It's closed. I'm gonna have to find another way in.
I did not intentionally go up to like the main gate and like, hey.
Where'd you come from? I found her! Taking my stuff!
Whoop.
Maybe I can climb that wall there. Maybe find a way into the camp.
My HUD tells me otherwise, Aloy.
That was close. I want to figure out what's going on here.
Advance!
I need to find whoever's in charge.
Stay in position!
Prisoner. Closer, I think.
I see the Outlander! Don't let up!
Blaze. I'm just a short ride from the Karja border. I need to take out half of their might. Yes. Put up first. It definitely helps.
Now! I'm trying to get away!
Can you keep her in sight? Don't stop shooting! Concentrate! Move it down! She felt that!
That helps.
supplies. Love these paint choices.
Covering fire!
Somebody's got a gun.
Got her now!
Got a gun. That changes the game drastically. Oh, there's an ancient supply box over here. Too bad no guns.
In that tunnel. Blade in the ring!
Blow up that blaze. Oh.
Hey, I'm here to help. Oh, and follow my lead.
You got it. Thanks for the help, Red.
What do you want? As much as a hole as chain scrape is, at least it's got a good pop.
For the next fight.
Campfire till I've actually eradicated them. Okie dokie. Someone left the prisoner out? Could have done that. Up on him. There he is. Ravager cannon. It's just sitting on the ground. I'm gonna go over and take it.
Body here. You see anyone around?
She's a vicious one. Careful.
Don't move, Outlander.
Time to engage.
Get over! Yeah, I can fight too! Hold her here! We hold!
Is that So the attack button doesn't actually let me fire it.
Got her!
It immediately drops it. Oh!
Stop firing going!
Okay, better.
What? How is he able to do that? Shot your own guy, jerk.
We have a man down! Go on, go on! On target!
Seemingly coming from multiple directions.
Grab this on the go.
Whoa. Nice one. Yeah, right in the eye.
The two of you, you're with me.
Now this will
Take
do
the
some
lead.
damage.
I just have to aim first. That's
Don't
the
let her
problem.
jump us like last time. Retaliate!
I'll flush her out!
Right there! Right through her armor!
Nice. Probably for the best.
Oh, no, you don't.
Yes, I do. Alright. Where do people be at?
You're starting to agitate me, Outlander. Report! You've made a huge mistake. I lost track of her. Where'd you go, Outlander? We need more people!
bit more?
I think one of these structures is a command center.
Got you now!
Alright. Search the command center, destroy the blaze stockpile. I could have done that earlier. I don't know, alert them. One-way communication device. Coded transmission.
Loyal to Noct, hear me. I was told a soldier from this camp goaded one of the sons of Prometheus into an altercation. You would do well to remember that our allies are responsible for providing the machines that we shall ride to glory. The next fool who interferes with them will be eviscerated and left in the desert for carrion. There will be no second warning. Will that be sufficient?
Yeah, that should prevent your people from butting heads with mine. You have my thanks, Regala.
May our pact lead to victory.
So Regala's not working alone.
That's not great.
These sons of Prometheus gave her the ability to override machines.
Ooh. Maps.
A map of the Daunt. Tracking movement in and out of barren light. With emphasis on the fort's weak points. They've been accumulating blaze. And from what I saw out there, enough to blow up something big. They're gonna blow up barren light. Make a hole big enough to fit an entire army. So Regala plans on invading the sun. At least when she gets an army big enough to do it. I have to get rid of that blaze.
And there's blaze in that mine just sitting there. I appreciate that there are some caches that just require a spear. Ooh, a weapon. I mean, an outfit.
Just gotta shoot that blaze. Blow it sky high.
Blown it on sky high, telling me I'm alive without a reason why. Blown it on sky high. Where is Blaze? It was not there. It's over by the prisoner.
A rush of air.
A rush of air. Fire arrow at the ready, and
Hopefully the rebels will abandon this place now. I could deal with the rest of them now, or head out. Either way, my job is done here.
nice. Good stuff. Yeah, Drew, regarding streaming schedule,
I should keep an eye out for more of these rebel camps.
unfortunately,
Stop them from stirring up trouble.
another thing that's
I need to find out more about these sons of
preventing me
Prometheus.
from being a
Stop them from helping the rebels slaughter
gold
their own
standard
people.
affiliate
mention the carja.
Twitch streamer is that I play when I can,
Save these for when I need it.
working on personal time. So, you know, I'd love to be able to say, oh, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 to 11 p.m., which comes close to working on most weeks. But, like, for instance, this week we're recording MuggleCast on Wednesday instead of Thursday, which we do every 2-3 weeks. So it's just like a unpredictable schedule that I'd hate to put something out there only to not have it be real. So, unfortunately, it's more of an itinerant try-and thing. It's very thoughtful, Drew, and you've been my #1 supporter on Twitch, so thank you very much for that. But if we did conflict, it would be okay. I would not hold it against you in any way, because I have such just like a unpredictable schedule. Okay. I want to see if I'm near any other tallnecks. I'm not. There's the Plainsong, home of the Utapau. Split Crag, Crimson Narrows. Go to the Signal in the Desert. I could do. What's that? Wait. That fast travel was going to cost me a pack. However, if I do it here, waiting, there we go. It's free. Do 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 do. I don't know how they've done it, but they've actually also sped up loading in this game. It's like before the loading screen had music. That's how long it was. Okay, shelter you can credit upgrade items, save your game. Oh, it changed time of day. Sit, progress time. That's what that is. I'm just gonna sit and think about my actions. Use workbench. That would work. And my stash is over there. Let's see what I can upgrade right now. Trap crafting. Purge water. Canister of purge water strapped to a wooden stake. You know what? I had that machine that was weak against purge water, the wide maw or whatever in the cauldron. So hopefully that's a thing. Coil slot and weapon stats. Weapon stats, weapon stats. Coil slot, frost blast swing. I don't like any of these. Hunter bow. Okay. These give me my... This is my main basic bow. And then this gives me some stuff. All I need is a Claw Strider Razor Tail, which will give me a weapon coil. Coil slot has been unlocked for one of your weapons. Coils been equipped. Tap square to modify its coils. Yes. So in the first game, weapons either had coils or they didn't. Some had like 2 or 3. you could really like stack some really cool benefits. And I guess in this game, at least so far, the weapons you start out with need to be upgraded a couple of times before they can even have one coil slot, let alone the fact that you don't necessarily even start with like coils. Maybe you can buy them, but coordinates recovered from the spire. So this is where Sylens,
Looks like the coordinates Sylens gave me match that wreckage.
guy.
Did he install Hades on another Titan?
No, I hope not. This is where the signal went to at the end of the first game when you defeated, well, thought you defeated the AI called Hades. In fact, what you were doing is delaying the inevitable. But this area, like this far west, is where Sylens shipped it to. Sent the signal to, which means he basically started his journey from here and went west, or met with that Regala character.
This is it. Location of the coordinates I scanned from...
Oops, I stopped her from talking.
That device is blinking. I guess Sylens wants me to check it out.
Well, we don't give him everything that he wants.
It's some kind of log. Most of it's redacted. It looks like Sylens put a lot of work into forcing Hades to talk.
There's one of these earlier in the first game. It's self-aware so it can suffer. Yeah, there we go. 5 days. It only took him 5 days to beat the rogue AI. Rabbits hopping through a field of flowers produce paroxysms of agony. Ooh. Oh no. The revelation I've been seeking has revealed itself. Ooh. Another cauldron, maybe?
Poor Hades. So cramped in there. No room to think. You can't even speak. Now, the processing orb of a Titan, on the other hand, well, you're used to that. But once I load you on that, you'll be so much more comfortable. Until interrogations begin, anyway.
Campfire. And here we go.
Aloy, consider this message a beacon to help guide you out of the fog of ignorance. Using explosives, I've detached the processing orb from the Titan overhead, a perfect cage for our mutual friend, Hades, in order to render it cooperative. Tell her what we've discussed about the mysterious signal that gave you life.
Signal only meant for me. Signal was received for 7.22 years and ceased. Cannot compromise. GAIA reboot. But entities will still fail.
Back to that, are you? Perhaps you need a reminder that you have failed. So you see, Aloy, GAIA can be safely rebooted. As for where to find a backup, well, you'll need to trot along after me to find out.
He thinks he's got it all figured out. Bastard. And I guess there's only one way to find out where he moved the orb.
Oh, neat. Oh, the orb's trail. I wasn't looking at that. The orb's trail? Oh, I guess I can just follow the marker.
Well, I better see where this trail leads.
Usually, when it wants me to follow a trail, I have to go and scan something on the ground, and then highlight it in purple, and then it gives me like little things. This time, I guess maybe I'm just...
So here I am, following along after Sylens like a fool. After he tricked me by rigging his lance to steal Hades. A crazy AI that wants to kill everything. He couldn't just let me do the same thing and destroy it? And now I'm gonna have to put up with more of a self-righteous bull. I'm here.
Down the grass. I'm assuming he rolled the trail. That's in case that's not clear. I'm just like following the indentation of this piece of land because I couldn't figure out where it this game. Metal flower. Oh, it's a thing.
Sylens must be pretty confident he's found a backup of Gaia, but how? Every place I've checked, every lead, they've all been dead ends. All backups purged. So what did Hades tell him? My focus is detecting some kind of...
What's Honora doing this far west? No matter. I can get you stocked up for the wild if you need me to. Steel to my soul, my wares are the finest.
Okay. Let's see what you got. Oh, better weapons. Frost Hunter Bow. Forge Fire. Tripcaster. Card your weapon. Oh, Shredder Gauntlet. Oh, cool. I have one of the skills that I can install is the Shredder. Oh, damn it. I think I just sold it something. Enough room in your trap pouch. Okay, I guess I didn't sell bad stuff. Alright, trying to sell all the stuff that is only good for valuables. Sell that. Okay.
That's a very efficient piece of hardware you just bought.
Thank you. I am not convinced. Let's see. As far as mission, there's no thing. So, oh wait, Cauldron? That's the one I was at before. Alright, I'm gonna go back to where Hades last was. And scan the damn ground. Follow the orb's trail. Source nearby.
Poor Hades. So
Not sure how to get rid of this stuff. It's some kind of red crystal.
Usually when the game tells you to follow a trail. Like I said, there's a pile of something on the ground, and then you highlight it with your focus, and you click R1, and it goes, ooh, you should go this way. So the whole follow the orbs trail thing is pretty interesting. At least now it's telling me. Where is it telling me to go now? To the other campfire. I had made it as far as the other campfire I just came from. Because that's not a waypoint. This is a waypoint. That's not a waypoint. So I guess I was following the orbs trail? Again, like this little impact on the ground from where Sylens dragged it. Which means I was doing just fine.
Hold the hammer. It's that famed Nora.
The famed Nora? Well, I've stopped seeing the signal.
I'll mark this spot in my focus. Come back later.
I'd like to see Sylens pushing that damn big orb by himself through hostile territory.
Looks like the trail goes into the hillside.
Yep, I was right. So I was just following an indentation, which could be there for any reason.
A ruin. Okay. Let's see where this goes.
Ooh. Yeah, they just don't make tiles like this anymore.
I guess Sylens used that machine to haul his prize.
Oh, darn. Ooh, water. That's fun.
That must be the orb Sylens stuck Hades in. And that door. Looks like a Pharaoh facility. Or a Zero Dawn. Come on, Hades. You still in there?
And then Aloy died.
Hades? Is that you?
System threat detected.
You don't look so good.
You are the Aloy. Come to destroy me.
Yes. Permanently this time. Even like this, you're a threat to Gaia. Once I resurrect her.
So you have not yet secured Gaia back up. Then Gaia is dead. Earth and you. Despite malfunctions, I have won.
What did Sylens do to you, Hades? It's like you've been hollowed out.
Sylens interrogated me.
And what did you tell him?
Data error, memory structures disintegrate.
You don't remember any of it?
I remember you.
What, like me beating you at the spire? Okay, that's not going anywhere.
Try a different tactic, girl. Kill him with kindness.
Sylens asked you where to find a backup of Gaia.
Data error, memory structures disintegrated.
Right, because that would have been easy. Do you know where Sylens went?
No, he departed 12.8 days ago. Perhaps Data error, behavior prediction structures disintegrated.
So you don't know anything more than I do. Great. When the mysterious signal transformed you, it made Gaia's other subordinate functions conscious too. You escaped when Gaia destroyed herself, but so did they. Where did they go?
Each function migrated to coordinates based on data error, memory structures
I hate
disintegrated.
Sylens for doing this.
Bunch of crazed AIs, scattered who knows where, doing who knows what. Hephaestus kills thousands every year with the combat machines it keeps making. And you nearly ended the world. 7 more functions out there, cooking up trouble. It's not a happy thought.
You are unhappy. Good.
Anyone ever tell you you've got a great personality, Hades?
Sarcasm detected.
Yeah, didn't think so. Sylens questioned you about the mysterious signal. The one that woke you, gave you consciousness. Who sent it?
Signal transmitted by masters.
And who are they?
Masters woke me to destroy earthly life.
Who would want that?
Data error, memory structures disintegrated.
Alright, back to threats.
Enough. It's time to finish this.
Does Aloy still think she can restore Gaia? Save life on Earth?
Yeah, Aloy does.
Then you are deluded. Extinction inevitable.
What would you know, Hades? Twice you tried to destroy life on Earth, and twice you failed. The only extinction you ever brought about is your own. And there's no tricked-out lands to save you this time.
You are incorrect. 3 times. Hades extinguished life.
What? You remember this?
Yes. Data intact. Non-viable biospheres aborted in years 25421612168.
So, that's centuries ago. It's what you were designed to do.
Current biosphere is version 5. There will be no version 6.
There won't need to be. I'm saving this one.
Master override arms. To activate, state name and rank.
Elizabet Sobek, Alpha Prime.
Master override activated. Purging extinction protocol.
It's a big power move to take the big bad from the first one. Make him not the big bad in the second one. Make him still be kind of a prick. But then kill him. In
Aloy,
the first bit of
I see you've dealt with Hades.
Think maybe you can stay dead this time?
It will. You can trust.
Trust?
Yes. Trust. As in, since I did what you could never do, and extracted all of Hades' priceless knowledge, you can trust that I was willing to actually let you destroy it this time.
So back to holograms instead of face-to-face? What, afraid I'd stab you or something?
There's a reason
And using the same spyware. I see, so all those times I called, you could have just answered? But I guess you just prefer to go on spying all this time.
My world stopped revolving around you months ago, Aloy. I've had work to do. Countless hours of research, as demanding and time-intensive as it has been critical to the fate of this planet.
He's bad.
Right. Of course. You're just trying to save the world, too.
That's right. The difference, of course, is that unlike you, I've produced results.
Giving weapons to the bad guys?
Did you find a backup of Gaia or not?
Oh, yes. I believe I did.
Where?
Voila. Why do you think I summoned you here? Behind that gene-locked hatch lie the ruins of the ancient facility where the Hades extinction protocol was perfected. A testing process that ran hundreds of trials, each of them using a backup of Gaia.
Hades told you this?
It took some convincing, but yes. So, are you ready to go get what you've been searching for the last 6 months? Or are you just going to stand there with your mouth open?
How did he know my mouth was open?
Did Hades reveal the source of the mysterious signal? The one that woke it, tried to destroy life on Earth?
Yes, it did.
Care to share?
In due time. First things first, Aloy. Last I checked, you still had a super-intelligent AI named Gaia to reboot.
Yeah. The same Gaia who had to destroy herself 20 years ago because of the signal?
It stopped being transmitted years ago. It's no longer a threat.
What if it repeats?
It won't. Even if it did, well... The details are complicated, but the signal required Hades to take effect. Delete Hades from any backup you reboot, and Gaia's safe. Now stop wasting time. Go get a backup.
Just to confirm, Hades said that there are backups of Gaia in there.
Yes. Or were, anyway. 1,000 years ago.
Backups that didn't get purged when Ted Farrow wiped every copy of Apollo.
Correct. According to Hades, this facility could not be accessed by remote signal. Not even Ted Farrow could touch the data here.
Backups. Data complete, Gaia and her subordinate functions. Everything needed to reboot the system. Restore control over the terraforming system, save life on Earth.
Nice summary there, Aloy.
In there.
So Hades said. So what are you waiting for?
You mentioned you've been busy.
Exceptionally busy.
But not so busy you couldn't teach Tanakh the rebels to override machines, ride them as mounts.
Aloy, the only issue you should be concerned about is obtaining a Gaia backup. Perhaps if you focused more, you might actually see results.
That's not exactly a denial, Sylens.
Take it any way you want.
Those people killed people I liked.
All right. I'll search the facility for a Gaia backup. But just to be clear, Sylens, if this ends up being another one of your tricks...
It's a gene-locked hatch, Aloy. You're literally the only person who can open it. How could I set a trap inside?
You stink.
Trick me again, Sylens, and our next conversation will be face-to-face. Though you won't have much to say, on account of my spear being buried in your throat.
Love it.
Aloy, thanks to me, everything you've desired, everything you've been fumbling about, unable to achieve for 6 months, is now within your grasp. Now, I know you didn't learn much about manners growing up a Nora outcast. But in a situation like this, you say, thank you, and I say, you're
he didn't stick around to see if she would do it. She wasn't gonna do it. Death's door. Wow. I'm so enthralled, I'm definitely not gonna stop here, I don't think. I will check. I gotta check something. I'm gonna put the game on a brief, less than 5-minute break. Hey, Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for sticking on. One sec. The door to my room, the humidity has warped the door, so it just is not going to shut for a little while. I fixed it the other day by drilling into the wood, and it's warped so much in that time that it no longer works. Fun stuff. Right after I said BRB, great to be back. Thank you, everybody. Yeah. No, needed a brief break. I've been playing for 2.5 hours. I'm going to be playing for 1 more hour, and that might be it for the day Sunday. I'm off tomorrow, so that's great stuff. But yeah, as soon as I flipped away, I was standing and the game was not paused, and Sylens was like, "What are you waiting for?" So unexpected. He like disappeared, that whole grand exit, but he's still monitoring. So yeah, regarding Sylens, it's a shame because she needs him, but I do hope the game ends in his death. He won't. Hi, Meg.
Hi.
Welcome. We're about to learn some stuff about. We finally found the backup. We finally found the backup of GAIA.
Wow, where was it?
In a hole.
In a hole.
In a factory. Or not in a factory, in a specific facility where the villain, Hades, was being built, and this makes a lot of sense, actually. They tested whether Hades would work by having a backup of GAIA, and it had to like keep destroying GAIA, they ran all those simulations.
Get stronger.
Yeah. The Lady Ash says hello, Meg.
Hi, Lady Ash.
And we are gonna get going.
Woo.
Yeah. The other reason, so I'm at 2 hours 20 or 21 with the 5-minute break, and that's my exact 0 mark for the hour. So I'm keeping track of how many hours played so that I can put it on the video. And I think this is either the 12th hour or the 13th hour at this point. So pretty good. The main campaign, Guerrilla Games said that the campaign was roughly the same.
By all means, take your time.
Dude, I'm explaining the plot to people. Okay, thanks, buddy.
Is campaign like...
Campaign is like the main... Yeah, so you have side missions, side quests, errands, all that other stuff. But campaign is the main story missions. Gaming term.
Like probably take like 85 hours?
Well, so 85 was everything. So it's not like I platinumed the first game, but it's when the credits roll.
Okay.
Basically, and that was at 60 hours. So Guerrilla, the people who make this game, said that the sequel is roughly the same length.
Stop wasting time, Aloy.
Silent! I'm explaining to my followers what is going on. At this point, I'm just gonna wait here to piss Sylens off. If he says one more thing, I'm not going in. I'm just not doing it. It's not important enough. This is how, it's like, in order to, so Hades' whole job is to destroy the terraforming system, like basically to destroy GAIA, who's saving the planet. And Sylens interrogated him, trapped him, interrogated him, pissed him off. The way he weakened him, what pissed Hades off the most was showing him pictures of lush fauna and flora, and especially bunnies hopping around. Yes, there he is. Bunnies hopping around, and that really pissed Hades off. I know. I did not see the bunnies. Okay, we're doing this.
Hold for identity scan.
Computer program.
Genetic profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Greetings, Dr. Sobek. Please step inside. Please step inside. Please step inside.
Are you kidding me?
I think we're in luck.
Does he have something to destroy the crystal?
The door is completely messed up.
Obviously. But despite the malfunction, you can still get through. If you'll be patient for a while longer. See those crystals there? The Osram call them fire gleam. They're combustible.
You got the right tool.
Not nearly powerful enough to blast through a door like that.
But maybe just enough to jolt it open a bit more.
Exactly. It will only work with an igniter. I'm sending you the schematics now. To build it, you'll need some machine parts and the oil from a kindleweed plant. That only grows underwater, but you should be able to find some in the nearby lake. The parts are more complicated. You'll need a spark coil from within a Leap Lasher's power cell. Remove the power cell before you kill the machine, or else it'll break.
Got it.
I need a tear blast.
Well, I already have some deep water kindleweed. Just need to get the parts.
Man, this was so hyped up. I stood in front of the door, it was lit, it was like, we're going in, this is an amazing thing. Sylens was like, well, what are you waiting for? And then we needed more parts.
Sylens was like, come on in. Fight me, bitch.
No, he's not here. He couldn't get in because you need to be the clone of the woman who saved the world to get in. So he moved on and gave the bad guys all those weapons. And so something from the first game that I didn't quite pay much attention to because it didn't make all of that much sense in the scope of the first game was that there was this signal. I'm gonna try and get under if I can. No, I can't. There was this signal that came from the sky. We don't know where, if it was space or somewhere else. And it basically turned Hades on. Hades was one of the 9, I'm guessing, programs that were running as part of an overall process to save the Earth. But Hades was like the failsafe of like, if Gaia was building an Earth that could not sustain life, because it tried and failed a couple of times, because it's very complicated. An ecosystem is very complicated. So Hades was the failsafe that basically didn't waste millions of years by letting Gaia do its thing, and it stopped Gaia, and then Gaia rebooted and then tried again. So when when the system overall detected that the Earth was not gonna be cool, it just basically tried over and over and over again. And that's why Hades exists, to do its thing. But the signal, so like eventually Hades was dormant. Some signal came, separated Hades from the subsystems of Gaia, and made it its own thing, which then it was just going to run its protocol, which is to destroy Gaia, but on a grand macro level. So the first game, and stop me anybody if I'm saying this wrong, but the first game was basically all about stopping Hades from killing Gaia, but Gaia died anyway because the overall systems were too corrupted by all the crap. So this signal was sent by somebody that Hades called the Masters. This was not in the first game. This is what he called them in a conversation I just had. And I think that's going to be the Carrie Ann Moss character who was in the trailer. Is somebody that apparently wants to extinguish all life on Earth again.
Carrie Ann?
Carrie Ann? Hey, Carrie Ann.
And then how does Sylens fit into all this?
Well, Sylens ostensibly wishes to stop these people.
He's pro Hades.
Sylens was using Hades to get more information on the past and all that stuff. Leap Lasher. Spark coil. Oh, I'm at a site. Okay. So I have to remove a spark coil while it's still alive. But
Sand floating around in the wind.
that's sand? Yeah, I guess it is. Oh, look at that. There's like a piece of grass or something. Oh, the sand on the ground.
Yeah. Wind is...
We're definitely going to watch the PS5 version at some point because all the layers, they had to change every layer to like make it fit on PS4. But so there's even more of this.
Even more sand?
Well, it was like I said about Moss. They said that the article I read, which compared the version, said
the parts I need for the igniter.
there's an entire...
I should scan one of them. My focus can show me where the part is. Okay, now where's its power cell?
Leap Lasher. Yeah, the article said there was an entire layer of moss that was removed from the PS4 version, but like some of these rocks are very mossy, so the PS5 is going to be even more so. All right, so the body is there. Cargo claw. Ooh, cargo claw. Retractable magnetic claw. Cargo pods. Purge water damage. I'm going to end up blowing this off. Acid canister. Power cell. So the power cell is the very tail. Primary weapon power source. Detach together. Sparkers or shoot with a shock arrow to detonate. I don't want to detonate it. Purge water damage. Chain reaction. Attack removal. Okay, so Leap Lasher power cell. Is that what I needed?
There's the power cell. I can tag it in my focus display.
I needed a spark coil. don't have any... Let's see, where did I see tear damage? I needed tear damage. Wait, that's it. Slicing Shredder Gauntlet has tear shredders. Specifically, what this game calls tear is a weapon that is designed to remove armor components or full-on components from machines. So the only thing I have this is something called the shredders. So I do have a weapon that should let me detach the power cell without killing this thing, which is what Sylens just told me I needed to do. Oh, it went behind the rock.
There goes the parts.
Got it. First try.
Spotted. Okay, got the parts for the igniter. Now I just need to build this thing.
There's a workbench near the entrance to the facility.
I saw it.
From your time tinkering with Hades?
Tinkering? More like extracting valuable data.
Sylens and Aloy are buds now. They are buds. She threatened to put her staff in his throat, like, or spear. She's like, you won't, next time you say something, it'll be because my spear's in your throat. You won't be able to say anything. Okay, special gear. Here we go. Not the pullcaster. Igniter. Installed on the spear, this igniter can be used to detonate fire gleam. Wow, real close and personal with fire gleam.
There. Should be able to use this to blow up that fire gleam now.
Indeed. A useful combination. It's how I detached the processing warp from the horse in the first place.
Great.
Disturbia. Why do these explosions have to be so close quarters?
I'd step back if I were you.
Yeah, thanks. Why don't I get a longer spear? Oh, that's fun. It did it.
I think I'm in.
Then by all means, proceed.
Now that I have this igniter, I could blow up that fire gleam that I've seen before.
That's right.
Focus on the task at hand, Aloy.
Yeah, he did say about the lake, but I had already been to the bottom of a lake, and I got some of those,
A lot of water in here.
There must be runoff from the peaks above. It may have been leaking in for some time.
The other cool thing about the first game and now this one is there were cauldrons, which are machine factories, but then there were also just like straight up underground caverns that were companies. So this was a building. You know, this was a building that has since been buried by like a mountain and stuff, but you go in, there's doors, there's like human doors. Cauldrons are strictly like for machines, from machines, by machines. But these type of facilities are your standard like handrail.
This whole place is flooded.
Nice.
And there's another gene-locked door on the other side.
Gene-locked.
That's where any GAIA backups would have been stored.
Oh.
I have to find a way to get over there.
Yeah. It's funny, one of the first...
Spiderwebs.
Yeah, one of the... Oh, look at that. You can actually see the detail of the... And the way it moves. The air is... Like a breeze is coming through and it's moving the spider web in a really intense... I wonder if I can...
Where are the spiders?
I don't know.
I want to see the spiders.
Maybe they had nothing to eat for like 1,000 years.
They're like, screw this, we're moving out.
These are all gonna be good. Okay. Travis Tate. 2065. Elizabet Sobek was here. That's the woman that Aloy is the clone of. Oh, that's neat. Okay. This is a cool facility. I'm gonna get to hop. I'm gonna get to hop from pylon to pylon, like those little select things, and then I can pull, using my pullcaster, I can pull that, and that'll do something. Come on. Let me... Oh, Aloy's fantastic. It's actually not letting
Well,
me...
this is familiar. Picking my way through ancient, crumbling ruins while you spy on me through my focus.
Stop waxing nostalgic and concentrate on finding a backup.
Oh, it wasn't nostalgic. I was complaining. They said earlier was if you want to jump directly behind yourself, not to use a directional arrow, but to just push circle. So that's what I'm gonna try. Yeah, alright, that kind of worked. I mean, it did work. Just not as smooth. Alright, so... try that again.
Might be a good idea to drop that ladder.
What ladder? Oh. Oh, like in the water. I love the splash. That was fun. Some dead people.
Door's locked. But there's some kind of device next to it.
The universal sign of the battery.
Battery.
I've had that. I've seen this sign before.
It looks like this connects to the door, but it needs power.
Oh. Oh, look. There's one remaining good energy cell. Nice.
Energy cell.
Wow.
Well, the thing is, this is... Yeah, like, narratively, this is brilliant. This is what you're supposed to do. You make one that's easy, and then you have somebody having to hunt, like, across an entire cavern for another energy cell. Like, you teach the user how to do it. And then
That did
later.
it.
Also, I did the same thing at the tall neck, you'll remember.
Yeah.
But that because of the open world nature of this game, it's possible that this was people's first battery. And they didn't know.
This little courtyard.
A little courtyard.
This is where they had their lunch breaks.
Well,
some vegetation.
I feel as though, based on the warped nature of the metal, that this was possibly all enclosed, and that over the last 1,000 years, nature has reclaimed.
What's above me?
What's above me? I'll find out. That was the game's way of saying, look up, you dumb hoe. There's a handle.
You dumbass.
Okay. What is this? Ooh, another battery thing. So I wonder if I... Ooh, here's the thing. Purple means it's very good. Yeah. Well, generous, I think, refers to quantity, but sometimes you get a quality thing. Alright, if I remove this and the door closes, I'll be very upset. Oh, man. Yeah! How cool is that? I'll probably...
You had to jump from that station holding the power cell.
Yeah, and I fell.
You fell and it like drops too. It's not always.
Okay, so actually, when I powered this up, it said I could play audio, so I just need to find that now. Which I dislike the... It's still not as intuitive as I would like. Okay, data points. I hope this is the one I just got.
My man Ted, harbinger of the end of times. What can I do for you?
Your modifications to Recluse Spider, the separate repositories for Gaia and Hades samples, well, The costs are off the charts. I'm gonna move testing of the Hades protocol to Zero Dawn headquarters next week.
Slow down, Hoss. Let me put it to you nursery school simple. Baby Hades is a vile little thing, and it's gotta stay in its crib. One slip and it'll cut off every data stream and power line it licks. That's why this dark and scary hole you made is perfect. Very hard to get an unauthorized signal out, so all the cyber nukes you were working on here didn't fly the coop. You know, like Drax.net-4. I think your boys nicknamed that one the Moldova Brain Hack.
That was a clearance level 9 project.
Aw, thought you goons scrubbed this place squeaky clean. But your pal Trav went over it with a white glove and found the grime. No, here will do just fine for Hades. Later, teddy bear.
So the man who designed Hades was a nut. But probably not as bad as the Pharaoh guy that destroyed the world.
My man.
I do appreciate all the shades of gray. Oh, 6-9. Wait, that was... Okay. Alright, so that, I think, with a pretty high degree of certainty, that was the thing that revealed by moving the power cell. Okay. Let's see.
Must be caught on something.
Pull harder. Okay. I have to go around and get that later. Try and
I was just thinking about you.
our cat came in.
It's a little meow.
So Aloy said that this is caught on something. It's a real shame.
Ah, damn. It's stuck.
I really don't see a way around. Uh-oh. I might not supposed to... I am possibly not supposed to be back here. Okay. If I remove the power cell, what happens? Put it back in this door.
Does the game oscillate between talking the power cell and the power cell?
Okay, there's a ledge up there. Well, this ledge is possibly what I need to get up to using that crate that's stuck. So I just don't know how to unstick that crate. Find a way to energy lock hatch. If there was something for me to shoot, I would. what's it stuck on? I can't climb over it. It's telling me it's impassable. I can like hang on. You can grab the crate, but you can't. This whole time I was focused on.
It was a push door and you were pulling.
I was pulling and it was a push. All right. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. Because when you see something teetering on an edge of something, you're like, "Oh, I gotta stop that before it falls."
What was this room for? Looks like there is another console that needs power.
Oh, I should have known. I would have carried that thing.
This looks like the same device from the other room. Maybe I can use the energy cell here. This console shut down.
Oh, there was something there. Crossbar. Got it. This is the crate. The crate will let me go over there. Got it. And great. She's doing great. Ooh. Run, 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 run. Oh, it let me into there. Okay. Energy cell. This hole that I made.
Elizabet. And Travis Tate.
Oh no.
Ooh, boy! I tell you, Liz, what I just done gonna make you love me. I just imagine them far zenith rapscallions opening this fake GAIA we made for him. And I thought, what this really needs is a signature.
This isn't a prank, Travis.
I know. All I did was just script a couple of avatars. A little you, a little me.
And I flip him the
to
bird.
deliver our message of doom, real personal-like.
Would you just send it?
As soon as it's done compiling, then you and me should celebrate. I brought party fixins, pizza rolls, absinthe, a couple of hacky sacks.
This guy sucks.
I'm heading back to Bryce as soon as this is done.
Is that a party though?
Yeah.
Color me confounded, Liz. How is it that someone like you, a paragon, damn near saint, could love this world so damn much, but no one in it? I mean, have you ever even had a friend?
Aw.
Compile complete. Data file, Baron Promise, ready for transmission.
If you would, please.
It's nice.
Logic
to have
bombs
a
off.
friend.
Here it comes, far Z-nuts.
Just keep being the best at what you do, Travis.
Yeah, poor gal's got the weight of her.
Always admire you from afar, Liz. It's where my mama's grave. And she was religious.
Travis was wrong. Elizabet was trying to make sure life had a future. She cared about everyone.
I'm not so sure. The exceptional walk a path of solitude, Aloy.
Yeah, and I'd been
As
Spider-Man.
you and I are well aware of.
Have friends.
Yes, have friends is optional. Open all doors, please. Give me Gaia, please. Thank you. Oh, it's a little footlocker. Ancient trunk.
What do we have here?
Chimes, ring, wreath, toothpick. That was all that did. I put an entire big-ass power cell into a thing to open a little drawer that had keys in it, and not the keys you can use. Oh, come on. I gotta power the other one. There we go.
There's another panel up there that I should be able to pull open. I'll have to climb higher to reach it.
All right.
Don't think my pullcaster can latch onto that from here. I'm gonna have to jump. I can't make that jump. But if I glide...
Nice. Nice use of the new tool.
I would have so much fun with that.
That would be great.
There's more of the facility over there. I better take a look. Something's holding up.
That's a good thing, considering I got it nearly damaged. Run, 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 run,
What's in here?
run. Drew, congratulations
Another
on your
locked
shiny
door.
Charmander.
What's that console next to it?
Balls, dude. How loud is it out there? Outside the noise dampening field? 150 decibels? Well, I guess we got privacy. What's the hap, Trav? You and me go back a ways. And I never saw you cheat no one. Why start with Far Zenith?
I was gonna tell you about it. They get a copy of Gaia, I get a spot on the Odyssey. But I told them, I said, make it 2 spots, because I'm bringing my friend Trav.
Gosh, Hank. Sounds like the dampening field done slipped. You all right? No, I'm cool. Okay, got a personal field right here, see? Now, I know your ears ain't working so well just now. But see that text transcribing every word I say?
I know.
Good. While I dial the music out there up to 170 decibels, how about you type in that transmit code? There you go. And that's all of it? Cool. Thank you, Hank. We're done. Security? Hank Shaw is ready for collection. No, he's still breathing. Might want to bring a spatula, though.
There's data here.
The Odyssey is
Travis Tate.
the alternative to
This
all of
place turned
Zero
out a lot
Dawn,
of malware before Zero Dawn took over.
where they took a bunch of humans on an ark in space. But it failed. As far as we know. Ted ain't nearly as thorough as he thinks.
Could use my focus here.
That. Okay. Ooh. Unidentified signal.
Looks like this is connected to the door. It needs a code to open.
Okay. Don't know the code. Thought I could. Oh. What he said his favorite thing was. Sovereign 7482.
There we go.
Love it. Yeah, I especially love keys or codes left in the same room as the thing you need to decrypt, in any format. About them when you do it. Okay, let's see here.
The deal's off, Tilda. Zero Dawn got its ectogenic chambers. Far Zenith needs the Apollo database. There's no reason this incident... You tried to steal Gaia. I had nothing to do with it. And you punished those responsible. Your logic bomb has them scrambling to restore vital systems. I'm really supposed to believe that you knew nothing about this? Please, Liz. Humanity's chances are slim as is.
That's carrying.
You may not approve of our plan.
Right.
But what if we're the only ones to survive? Don't you want us to have Apollo to remember our common past, our mistakes? I'm begging you. Fine. You'll get your copy of Apollo. Thank you. Let's speak again before... Goodbye, Tilda. Enough now. Time to let go.
Elizabet sounded sad at the end. I think this was personal.
Indeed.
Maybe they loved each other. Silence is just along for the ride. It's like, indeed.
Move on.
I will never forget standing in front of the facility and going, what are you
There's
waiting
the door.
for?
Getting
Meanwhile,
close.
I'm trying to explain stuff. That's the door. Okay. It's there. That was something. Oh, wait. This whole time, was there... I bet I walked right past the ladder I could have dropped. Nope, never mind. Yeah. Last ladder I dropped. That was costly. That was really costly. Pain in the butt.
Better shake off this wet.
And I thought...
Oh, no!
Get to the door
Ah! Something I missed the first time is, another platform. 17 minutes left in our playthrough for this
Color
session.
me confounded, Liz. How is it that someone like you, paragon,
Nice.
damn near saint, could love this world so
Compile complete. Data file, Baron Promise, ready for transmission.
What the hell? I hit a thing on the ceiling. This is annoying. Thank you, Drew. Have a good day. Enjoy your Sunday.
always admire you from afar, Liz.
Come on. Aloy, what the fuck?
Mama's grave.
Does this go all the way down? Maybe. Alright. Got a wristwatch. Congratulations.
I should be able to glide over. Falling gently.
Now this ladder, lower ladder, that's the one I missed. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. Finally. That was not intuitive. What's that? Ah. That was ridiculous. Yeah. just step in front of it. Also, it looks too far. Oh, come on. Wait, there's a thing up. Alright. Really nowhere for me to run. Oh, shit! Alright, at least that ended with something.
Compile complete. Data file bearing promise. Ready for transmission.
That time. Are you kidding me? There's not. It was just a valuables box. I blew open this whole door for nothing. Alright, well, yeah, well, I hope I can just zip line back. Thank you.
Okay, so much for the flooded maze. I made it.
Hold for identiscan. Defendant profile confirmed. Entry authorized. Greetings, Dr. Sobek. Please step inside.
This one's in slightly better shape.
That thing is huge. Look, Looks like the power's off, except for that console. It's damp in here, too. Hope the water hasn't corroded anything I need.
Like the backup. Start looking.
It's a light, it's a light, it's a light, it's a light, it's a case.
I'll find this in my stash later.
Genetic profile confirmed. Greetings, Dr. Sobek.
What's up?
Do you wish to activate Recluse Spider?
I do.
Activating.
Recluse Spider is this guy.
That doesn't sound good.
It appears to be unstable and very heavy. Be careful.
At least I've got power. And there's data here. Looks like this Recluse Spider thing is a testing apparatus for GAIA and Hades. I'd better take a look at that access panel.
Yes, get to it.
Triple check both of those big circular thingies before pressing the red button. Triple check both of those big circular thingies. Okay.
Okay. I think those circular pods are repositories. One loaded with Hades backups, the other with GAIA.
What are you waiting for?
Hades is down, but the GAIA repository is stuck.
Lame.
So unstick it.
Unstick. You just.
Sure, okay.
Thanks, Sylens. I never would have
detach the cable from the arms coupling.
Oh, great. It's a shooting game. Well, I hit the cable twice. I don't think that's gonna do it. Okay. And I can't push that. Alright. Nor can I climb that. And I...
800312 vessel corroded. Data lost.
The water, it looks like it destroyed them. Data lost. All of them. You don't suppose GAIA too?
Only one way to be sure.
This is crazy. The entire fate of the world is resting on the data that's in this little circular disc that was kind of accidentally or otherwise suspended above all flooding and water. This is probably the thing that saved it. The fact
If
that
I
it's
can
still
free
on
the
that
cable from the coupling, the arm ought to come down.
Usually what you need to hit lights up. I guess just...
It's not exactly stable.
Damaged it.
Yeah, well, now that it's down,
No, it set it
I
down
should
nicely.
be able to access that pod.
I was like, oh shit, I just blew it up. Fateful moment.
I've got one. Two, in fact.
I was starting to get worried.
Data footprint low. 90% memory free.
That can't be right. GAIA was a vast superintelligence. It barely expected it.
Aloy has an idea.
No subordinate functions.
It's not a full backup.
No. More like a seed from which GAIA's mind could grow if it had sub-functions with which to form a heuristic matrix.
So it's useless?
I'm afraid so. Without sub-function.
Ugh!
Aloy, you've done all you could.
For what? Nothing?
Maybe saving the world is too big a task for any one person. Even you.
Wait. It's useless without sub-functions, but there are sub-functions out there.
The original ones. Scattered to the winds
Knew
when
it.
Gaia blew herself up? They could be anywhere. You can't find them in time. Even if you did, the mysterious signal mutated them just like Hades. You have no idea.
What I do. A good one. If it works.
Talk to the hand.
It was with her. You found Minerva, but it won't connect.
It's close. Mountains west of Plainsong. Close enough for me to go get it. I was hoping to find all the subfunctions, but one's enough to get started, right?
It is. Recover Minerva. One could use it to launch Gaia's heuristic matrix.
And when she's conscious, she helps me find the other subfunctions. I go gather them.
And rebuild her piece by piece. Very clever.
But is he gonna get in her way?
Still think I can't save the world on my own?
Uh-oh.
Yes, well. About that.
Alert! Intruders! Alert!
Aloy, I need you to listen closely. These intruders want the same thing you do. Gaia reborn. It's why they're here.
Friends of yours?
No. They don't know me. The data pulse I transmitted indicated that a Gaia backup could be recovered here was anonymous. Now, they're very powerful, but they won't harm you. Not when they see who you are, what you are. A clone of Elizabet Sobek, a genetic key with which they can reboot Gaia and rebuild the system. They need you.
I warned you, Sylens.
For once, Aloy, submit to the inevitable. Open the hatch.
First I rebuild Gaia, save life on Earth, then I track you down and end yours!
I'm trying to help you here.
What? Dude.
Try spying on me with that.
Oh, she's got a backup.
There. New focus, spyware free. Okay.
Or so she thinks.
Think.
She did say earlier in the game that she picked up a bunch of those.
I don't care how powerful they are. The only thing that can open that hatch is me.
She thinks.
Question is, can I find another way out? There's a current in the water. Not much, but maybe it's a way out.
Normally I would be like...
Genetic profile confirmed.
Ah,
Entry
shit.
authorized.
Yep, it's Carrie Ann.
Greetings, Dr. Sobek.
Oh, wait.
Please, step inside.
No. Not another Sobek. Another clone of Aloy? Of Sobek. Oh, what? That was like a little bit more curvy than Aloy.
Looks promising. Beta.
Oh, that's why there's two. They have another one. That's her. Yep. Uh-huh. Younger. Younger Aloy. Younger Elizabeth.
Do we have it? Fantastic. Did the pulse originate here?
Has someone...
Something wrong?
Shit!
Spectres, Beta!
Like, protected that thing. That person. Carrie Ann is on the left.
Well, any idea what the hell a clone of Elizabet Sobek is doing here?
Maybe Gaia made one when it destroyed itself, a Hail Mary to repair the system.
That's exactly it.
Don't like the sound of that.
But yeah, that's what happened.
Nah, don't like it. Don't want it.
But the
Nope. One's enough trouble.
Effic.
Eric.
She almost said efficacy.
Care to do a little downsizing?
Guy named Eric. Downsizing? Whoa, they didn't even talk to her. They were like, hey girl, what are your hopes? What are your dreams?
Then that was foolish of her. But we got what we came for.
But wait, I have so many
let's put it to
questions.
use.
Wait, I want to ask you guys, what's up with your necks? They took one look at her and were like, we need to
I snap
downsize.
a lot of necks in
Oh, VR. This ain't VR, buddy. This is real life.
Tremor as life fades from the eyes. Ooh, no hollow quite gets it.
Keep flapping your mouth.
Bastard.
Makes a nice target.
You actually think that primitive crap you got there can hurt me?
You want to tell me more about yourself? Yeah, anything.
This is gonna be fun.
You give me all
Okay,
those
here we go then.
little girl.
Kill the mysterious attacker. Yeah, don't mind if I do. Let's see if I can set fire
I'm not hurting him. I need a way out of here. Maybe if I can bring the whole processor down.
I think it's either all
I gotta use that console to make it drop more.
assuming that these are people from present day, meaning they somehow survived the worldwide apocalypse and lived thousands of years. They're going to have better technology than Aloy does. But even the people 1,000 years ago had that shield weaver armor, which made her real cool. And you saw how many times I fell on my ass and didn't die. Yeah. So they have that, but it's their full body, basically. It's not hard to assume that they would do that. Nope. Yeah! Missed bastards.
He's too close. I won't make it.
Ah, it's not the same as me. Is that supposed to be a weapon? Yeah! Don't need this!
Break the couplings holding that thing up. Got it!
That's not gonna help you, girl!
Another one down!
What are you up to?
Recluse Spider is gonna save us.
Here we go.
Come on! Shoot at me! Not that rig!
I'm not giving up.
Shoot at me, not that rig. Well, I've tried shooting at you.
Got it!
Quit fooling around!
Your future tech. Still can't get over it. They took one look at her and were like, man. Yeah. Just like, they figured it out. What the? What? What? I better learn how to do that by the end of this game. Otherwise I'm gonna freak. Yeah. With the glowing thing.
I'm not hurting him. Oh.
Come on.
Pain! Then death.
Okay, Electro.
Reckon that thing ain't gonna help, girl. Come on. Come at me.
Ugh, gotta cut the main stem.
I gotta tell you.
He's got a few couplings holding it up. I need to cut them off.
Alright, fuck you.
Come on now. Put your back in it.
Looks like there's Two more couplings on the stem.
Like me! Not that scum machine! Get her on, little mouse!
Oh. One more.
Crush him, crush him, crush him, crush him.
If that thing comes down, it's only gonna kill you!
I don't even exist.
I'm letting you have all the fun.
She wants to fall. I mean, I probably would have waited until all the crossbars in the whole facility went in the water before then going down.
Damn it!
Oh, they still swear. In the future. Current? Current? Yeah. There's only room for one on this door. Flipping you the bird, buddy.
What was that? Me killing what you wanted dead! What the hell did you think? The platform collapsed, body went with it.
Right. And since when don't you get what you want, huh?
Spectres, search.
Oh, these guys. Okay. See, these look like... Well, they're squiddish, but the, squiddish. They're like, if the machines of the future had been allowed to, like, or if the machines of 1,000 years ago had been allowed to, evolve.
I gotta find a way out of here. There's a current.
I'm gonna...
Heading for an exit.
I'm 10 minutes over the evenly clean hour mark. Actually, I did take a break, but I need to get to the campfire. Save, and then end the stream. Yeah, I know the oxygen's low.
Shit!
Damn. No way to climb up. Seriously, I'm missing. What's this? All I want to do is save the game and do this later.
I better stay out of their sight.
That is something I can pull, but I can't use the thing in water.
So how to get out of here? Spectres aren't giving up. Let's go fast. Been made. Oh.
Yep. Got it.
Looks like some kind of power room. Currents lead here. Promising.
Who did this music? Vangelis? This is like later stuff. Okay, some crystal. Blew a hole in the... Oh, okay, don't smile till you crawl through. Could be something to say. Yeah. Don't. Yeah. That was a load-bearing wall. Aloy? Yeah, you're gonna need electric. Well, water's going somewhere. Hey, listen, you wanted this. Oh shit, use your glider! Glide! Oh shit. Just don't get injured. Brambles, that's what those are. Just bundles of sticks. This is gonna be a cool shot. Yep, I knew that was gonna be the shot. I love it. Overhead of washing up. I love that so much. That's neat. Oh god. Whoa, is that Rost? Oh, just far.
I found.
Yeah, right.
It's okay. I'm here.
Rost was looking svelte. Like his beard trimmed a little.
Hey, easy. Easy there.
How did he find it?
Hey.
How?
Hey, it's right here.
I love that. She's told him next to nothing, besides the fact that there's no God. And he already kind of just intuited.
An outpost of the Utaru tribe. Not far from where you fell.
How long?
2 days. Aloy?
There's no time. I found something. In the mountains
west of Plainsong. Yeah. Kept muttering it while I carried you. Look, Aloy, whatever it is that you found, you're in no shape to...
I will crawl if I have to.
Okay, fine. But before you do that, there's someone you should talk to. An Utaru named Zoe. And she told me there's been trouble in those mountains. A cave spitting out deadly machines. Can't be a coincidence, right?
Why do we need her? Let's head for the cave.
Wow.
It's in Utaru territory. Her territory. She can help us. You'll see.
Aloy is usually the #1 most compassionate person in the world. But she's been on a real bratty
Let's
kick.
go see this marvelous Zoe then.
Marvelous Zoe.
Roots rot in snow. Still the seed rises as certain as stone.
They worship these
Zoe.
She should be in bed.
Aloy doesn't really
Listen, I tried.
You're so right. Varl said I should talk to you about the machines in the mountains west of Plainsong.
I am a grave singer. My place is here. We can talk once you've healed.
Oh, I love that. She's like, girl, bed rest.
What's wrong with it? Her.
Her name is Ray, not it. She's one of our land gods. And she's dying.
But not just dying. She's suffering.
Her condition is not your concern.
So, if anyone can help, it's Aloy.
May I?
I'm just gonna get my spear. That thing's messed up. Hey, you gotta broken this thing.
So what I'm about to do might look bad, but it will help. Spear.
She might give it energy. It's just power cell is low. You mean all we needed to do was cut off its arm? Oh, dagnabbit. What's that triangle piece?
still need to
Got any
talk.
extra?
Of course. But this way.
Not in the singing chamber. This room is just for singing. Yeah. I can help. I'm Aloy.
Here's what I found in the mountains.
The mountains west of Plainsong. There trouble out there?
The Utaru have trouble everywhere. Our fields blighted, our settlements abandoned. But the cave in the mountains is the worst of it. It is a sacred place. Fa, another of our land gods.
Fa. They literally named
Hundreds of
everyone
weeks
after a
ago.
musical instrument.
She hasn't emerged. Killer machines pour out instead, threatening to overwhelm us. It's never happened before.
Wouldn't be your first sacred cave.
Man, as much as I want to go through all of these dialogue options, I've been trying to end on an
You
even
said the
hour.
tribe has
Like,
trouble with its fields and settlements.
this game is not
Yes.
considerate.
Whereas once
There
the
should have been
land gods
one
harvested
save
endless
before
bounty from
those
the
huge
fields.
ass things.
Now
The
they
thing
sow
is,
a poisonous blight.
with the PlayStation, you can
War
pause at any
brews
given
among the
moment and come
Tanakh,
back
so
to it,
their
but if there's
rebels
power
prowl
loss
our
or something,
outskirts.
it doesn't work.
And the machines grow ever more aggressive, hemming us in. Now they're even coming out of our sacred cave. Many in the tribe fear our date.
Wish I could tell you it was better.
Not that we're gonna lose.
Ray and other machines.
Land gods. For generations, they provided for us.
Yeah,
Food
they
for
get it.
all.
That's
A farm.
legitimately what they're doing.
Run by.
More than a farm. A blessed land, until the derangement.
So what happened?
They faltered. Now they turn on us when we... They'd always enriched, but for several seasons... The fields have turned... fetid.
Awful word.
We used to have...
Must be.
I don't know. That's not each land god used to... Without the rituals of... They're dying.
So the cave is sacred.
Yes. Before the derangement, always in the same order. Doe first,
then
Ray,
then me,
then me, and so on. Each reappeared 2 days later, shining anew.
Yeah, they go there for repairs.
Soil and ornaments of worship. The tribe celebrated each return as one of the...
But the derangement changed the...
Yes. Over time, the land gods... But 3 weeks ago, the entire tribe lifted their...
Are machines being made inside? Like in a cauldron?
Hey, who told you about cauldrons? Look at you.
But the way these...
Yeah, right.
land gods come and go. It's not like anything I've seen before. You called yourself a grave singer.
To all living things, an end must come. I try to bring comfort and sing of the renewal that death's... But I never thought I would have to sing for one of our land gods. I don't even know if Ray heard me. What you did soothed her more than I ever could.
Yeah, you just need a spare.
It's not your fault. Without the second sight, there's nothing more you could...
Thanks for taking...
Varl's the one that carried you.
I doubt anyone else here would have let us in. Or stayed by my side to make sure. We were lucky to find you.
I could say the same thing.
Sounds like you two have been spending a lot of time together.
I wish it hadn't taken an injury to make that happen.
I need to get into that cave.
What?
Listen.
No one does that.
Well, it's time to make an exception.
It belongs to the land gods.
Look, so... there is something inside there. Something that could solve problems
besides
all over the world.
Spiders.
The storms, the derangement.
Solve problems. They do.
Maybe even your broken land gods.
What could possibly do all that?
A spirit?
Yeah. Something like that.
Varl, I've already told you there are no spirits.
Journey back to Plainsong. Assemble the chorus. Tell how you soothed Ray. Ask their permission to go inside.
I don't need permission.
Great. I'll get my things.
Dude, she needs to just... If they have like a tranquilizer thing, she needs to just sit.
She needs rest.
You don't have to tell me.
I'm fine.
I'm fine. It's cool. There's a younger version of me somewhere else.
Assembling the chorus will take time. Heal first, then join me.
Fine. Bed rest. I got it.
It's not a bed. It's a leaf. It's my favorite leaf.
It's my favorite.
She does not need you to help her heal. You could come with me to Plainsong. Lend your voice to mine as I try to persuade the chorus. It might help her cause.
I'd like to. But I'm afraid she might run off.
She's like, damn.
Really?
I need to babysit her.
Very well. Later then.
Zoe, wait. It's not, that I don't want to go with you. It's just that I...
Shh. No. Maybe this gives Aloy some hope. Like, hey.
Aloy,
Is that what you were trying to say?
Yes?
Then I look forward to more conversation.
Oh.
Yeah. Me too.
Lame. Loser.
You're supposed to be resting.
Laurel. You should go with her. I'll get better on my own.
You trying to get rid of me so you can...
No. Not this time. I'll meet up with you in Plainsong when I'm ready.
You sure about this?
Yes. Go. Get out of here.
He's like, okay, thanks.
So, wait.
So, wait, let's hold hands.
Oh, shit.
Who are they?
Thank God.
All healed up.
All healed up. I still want a campfire.
That Karja huntress. Now this outlander.
Sheesh.
Are you buying or selling today?
Nothing.
I need to meet Varl and Zoe in Plainsong. Ask the chorus if we can go into their sacred cave. Minerva should be inside. If I can get it, I can reboot Gaia. And then maybe we can figure out who those strangers in the proving lab were. But first, I might want to explore a little. See what I can find in this area.
Wow. That went a full half-hour longer than I intended, which means I'm ending the video on a half-hour mark. How am I supposed to do that on YouTube? Ugh, I've already done it before.
Hey, how goes it?
Hour 15A and 15B. And anyway, thank you everyone for watching. It really means a lot. And until next time, we'll pause it right here.
Bye.
Bye. Happy, well, actually, tomorrow's President's Day. I'm off work. I'll be streaming then.